Welcome back. My name is Matt Reiners, and I'm the co-founder of Eversound, a company dedicated to improving quality of life for older adults by giving them the gift of hearing. Today, I'm joined by Paige Morin, a senior at Washington State University studying business administration and marketing. Paige has spent the past summer interning with Merrill Gardens and has a fresh perspective on the senior living industry. Thanks for joining me today, Paige.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So let's jump right into it. What have you been up to this past summer?
Yeah, so kind of like you said before, I had the opportunity this summer to work at Merrill Gardens at their home office in Seattle. I was a marketing intern, so I helped do all of their social media, wrote blog posts, newsletters, emails, and I even had the opportunity to go to a couple of communities to do photo shoots and tours.
I love it. It's such a rewarding experience to go in the communities and see things happening firsthand. And I think marketing is such a unique opportunity to help like amplify those voices and those stories from the communities. And Paige, I know I'm always curious, especially college students, starting to, intern or work into senior living, what got you interested in wanting to work in this industry?
Yeah, so it's kind of a funny story, actually. I originally wanted to do marketing for a sports team, and I actually had an internship here at school working for my school's athletic department doing marketing for them. And I had a friend recommend this elective to me called Intro to Senior Living Management. And I thought I would just take it for fun. But on the very first day of the class, I immediately fell in love with it. And from that moment on, I knew that this was an industry that I wanted to be a part of. And so I kind of just took it on head first and dove right into it.
I love it. Yeah, I think a lot of us just kind of happen to walk into this industry or just learn about it in some way. And, from my background, I wanted to work at a sports team myself more so. Actually don't know what side of things it was on, but no, it's really cool. And I know, Washington State is looking at the senior living industry a little bit differently and really has some, it seems like specialized programs. So I'm curious, what is your school doing differently than most colleges or universities out there?
Yeah, so pretty recently, Washington State University just opened up a whole entire major dedicated to senior living management. And this is something that I've never heard of, which is pretty cool. It's called the Granger Cobb Institute for Senior Living Management. And that's actually where I took the class. It was part of that major. And it basically just prepares students to be like general managers and work on the business side of things and help give people a quality life every single day that everyone wants. So it's really cool that they're taking that proactive step. And it's something that I've really never seen before anywhere else.
Yeah, me too. I think they're starting to pop up at, certain colleges. I know one just opened up here in the Boston area, but I think it's such a specialized industry that has specialized needs, right? And it's awesome to see that colleges and universities are starting to create those programs,
Mhm.
and naming them, especially after like people that are, notoriously famous in our industry as Granger Cobb was. And it's just really awesome to see that. So kudos to the Washington State program. I know I've done some speaking to some of their classes. They're doing some really, really cool stuff there and just good people too. And so Paige, I know, you have this marketing internship with kind of a specialization on some of like, seemed like some of it was part of social media. I'm curious, what opportunities do you see for social media across the senior living industry?
Yeah, so social media, just kind of like senior living, is also a very rapidly growing industry and it's moving very, very fast. So it when companies like this use social media to market their brand, it not only shows their company in like a positive light, but it also helps prospects and residents and families get a deeper insight to what the industry is all about and what the community is doing. And you see more nowadays that there's a bunch of industries and new companies coming up with new technologies, kind of like yours for these senior living industries. And it's really cool watching it grow because as social media is growing and as senior living is growing, there's a more need for those two to kind of interlink. And that's kind of what I've been watching all summer.
Yeah, it's like that bridge, it's interesting to see how it's continuing to evolve and to adapt. And I think, social media can be so powerful for senior living because I think there's unfortunately this negative perception in the general public about senior living, and social media can be one of those tools to really just give people a view and behind the scenes of like all the good that's actually happening. So it's really cool to see.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
and Paige, I know, you know, you've got peers, right? You've got other students that you work with and that you have classes with and that but what would you say to other college students that might be considering a career or internship in senior living?
I would say just do it. It might be pretty intimidating at first, but the industry is such a positive and happy place to be a part of. And being able to make those connections and build those connections with other people is really honestly amazing. And you don't find that a lot of places, especially after college. And there's so many different things you can do within the industry. You can work on the business side of things, the technology side, or you could be working at the communities and building those connections with residents. And there's so much of a need for it in so many different areas that a lot of people don't really see. So I think that other students that have potentially an interest in it should really just dive right into it, kind of like I did, because I think they'll end up falling in love with it.
Yeah, I completely agree. And, I think what I've seen, right? I think we're kind of all pushed to go get business degrees if we're not really sure what we want to do. And, I think we kind of understand where we want to do on the business side. But I think what I love about the senior living industry is just like it's got business with purpose or business with soul, and you can really do anything across the business spectrum, right? From marketing, what you're doing, sales, operations, finance, even like on the clinical side, which is just really interesting to see. And I think it just has a vast opportunity of what you want to do and feel good at the end of the day too, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'm sure it was talked about too, and I'm sure you're talking about it in your classes, but senior living, as is a lot of industries, is in dire need to hire more people. And I'm just curious, do you have any thoughts on how we as an industry can better market and recruit to college students today?
I personally think that not many people my age really know about the industry. I didn't even really know about it until I just happened to randomly sign up for the class. Um, and kind of like how I was talking about earlier with social media, lots of people my age are using social media. And I think that boosting that activity on social media, just getting the word out there to people my age, is one really good way to do it. But also, I think it's important for people to just talk about it more and visit college campuses and like share the word and share the joy of it to other people, because it really is such an amazing industry. And having not many people know about it is kind of sad, honestly. And I want more people to know about it. And so, even students like me who have worked in the industry for a small amount of time, if I went out there and I talked to other college students about it, I think it'd be more meaningful to them as well, because it's easier for us to relate since we're the same age. And it's not just some random adult telling you, oh, join this industry, it's really fun. It's more of a personal connection between other students. So any way to just share the word and share the joy of it, I think is a good way just to start off.
Yeah, it makes absolute sense, right? I mean, it's getting people into those actual college campuses to talk about it, and then helping to create ambassadors or enthusiasts such as yourself to have kind of fallen in love with it and kind of sharing that passion for it. Because I think a lot of people, I remember being your age, I won't tell you how many years ago that was, but just feeling lost too, and just like not really sure what to do. And I think there's
Mhm.
just a great opportunity for that. And so, Paige, I know we're going into your final semester here of college, which is so exciting. What are you up to when you graduate in December?
After I graduate, I definitely want to continue my career in this industry. I kind of was hoping to move to the technology side of things a little bit more. I'm definitely keeping an open mind of it. I just want to learn as much as I can about the industry and work in as many different departments as I can. So yeah, I'm hoping to move to Seattle once I graduate and hopefully find something over there.
Awesome. Well, I definitely have some contacts in the Seattle area. So, of course, consider me a resource ally and a friend here, Paige. And my final question for you, any final thoughts you want to share with our listeners?
I just really hope everyone listening has as much excitement as I do when I talk about this. Um, I really can't wait for what the future brings me and brings this industry. I'm just excited to see where it goes. So I hope you guys are all excited, just like I am. And I really appreciate you talking to me and letting you talk about this.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Paige, for joining. I know our listeners will get a lot out of this, and you're such an exciting time in your life that the world is your oyster, and I'm excited to see what you do with it.
Thank you.